It may have been the greatest scam for a sports fan, posing as a Sports Illustrated kids reporter with your dad and getting into all of the games, not to mention the locker rooms. Watching your favorite players warm up before the game, prime seating during, and one-on-one conversations in the locker room after with a few photographs and autographs. Joining me now is comedian Gary Vider. Gary, you and your
Hey.
dad ran this scam from 1993 to 1997, and it allowed you to talk to and meet players like John Elway, Shaq, even Michael Jordan. You have to tell me more about this and how it worked.
Cool. Yeah. So, like you said, we started doing it in 1993, and it was all the games that we went to were at Madison Square Garden, and it pretty much involved my dad giving the Garden a call up the day of the games and letting them know that Sports Illustrated for kids would be there, and I would be going as a reporter. So he would give my name, and my dad himself, he would use an alias. Usually went by the name Emmanuel Wolf, but he had a few aliases, but that was one that he used at Madison Square Garden pretty regularly. That was the thing; like he would switch up the names, and people would never even catch on. It was kind of like a game for him in a way, but at the same time, we'd go to the games. We'd have press passes waiting for us when we arrived, and he would look the part of a photographer. He would have a whole vest and all the proper gear, and I would go with a pad and a pen and a recorder, and we'd sit in the press box. A lot of times, we'd also have great seats up front, just that were open that my dad would put me in, and he'd be off taking pictures. I'd be by myself just watching the game. And once the game ended, I'd be going into locker room and interviewing the players. And there were never any questions asked outside of, oh, that's really cool that you do this. And, everybody was really nice to me. And it was definitely wound up being an easy thing to get away with based off of just me being a kid. And that's kind of how it operated. And it was a pretty simple thing. And, it was definitely a cool moment in my life.
I love this so much. It's hard to imagine that you guys got away with this for years. And I know no one asked you guys questions, but you did some question asking. You would talk to some of the athletes afterwards. What would you talk to them about? What would you say?
Absolutely. So I was a subscriber for Sports Illustrated for Kids. So I would always, read the articles, and a lot of the stuff that they would ask would be, what's your favorite advice to the players, or what's your favorite food? And those are the questions I just stuck with, like the natural things a kid would want to ask a sports athlete. So I would ask those questions, and I would ask when I went to meet Michael Jordan. I asked him, what his favorite food was, and I couldn't remember my other questions outside of that because I was so nervous meeting Michael Jordan. But aside from interviewing him, a lot of times I was there. I just wanted the pictures and the autographs. So as unprofessional as I was as a fake kids reporter, I wouldn't even get the job done.
I love that. You must have quite the
Yeah.
memorabilia collection. I mean, you've got
Oh
some
yeah.
all-time favorite memorabilia.
So my favorite. So this is my favorite that to me, because I grew up playing hockey. I got an autograph hat from the New York Rangers when they won the Stanley Cup because I was at the game, and it was signed by the four All-Stars that year: Mark Messier, Mike Richter, Brian Leach, and Adam Graves. And I got that at Game 7 when I went into the locker room, and I had them all sign it. And that one means a lot because I feel like nobody else has that autograph and has it on like an official Stanley Cup hat. So that one means a lot to me. Other than that, it's just a bunch of I have a bunch of sticks and a bunch of basketball shoes. A lot of things my dad would just walk out of the locker room with. So it's just priceless memorabilia that means a lot, and it's cool that I have it, and it's it's pretty awesome, and definitely means a lot to me that we were able to get that stuff.
It's incredible. I cannot believe that you guys were able to do it, but you did. And obviously, you've got a lot of priceless memories. And the irony of it all, here you are years later on Sports Illustrated. Got to give it to you, Gary.
Yeah, so pretty much now I'm doing the job I was supposed to about 25 years ago. So I owe Sports Illustrated a lot just for even wanting to do this. So to get that story out, it's pretty cool. And I was at the games, just didn't fulfill my obligation of actually writing the article, but
Now,
now I did. Yeah,
now you did. All right, Gary, thanks for sharing. Really appreciate it.
awesome. Thanks for having me.